So if you just got your new OnePlus Pad, or if you're just curious about what the software is like, today we're gonna go through some of the best tips and tricks so you get the most out of your new tablet. So let's go ahead and get started. There's a couple things I would do first on this tablet. You'll notice if you hold down on the power button, it brings up the Google Assistant. But if you go to settings and search for power button, choose press and hold the power button, and you can change that from voice assistant to power menu. Then you can drag down to power off or up to restart. And then very similar to cell phones, you can double tap on the power button to quickly open up the camera app. The other thing, if you go into settings under display and brightness, and you go down to where it says auto screen off, I would change that so it takes a little bit longer before the screen shuts off. I believe it's 30 seconds by default. I'll just go to 30 minutes since we're gonna be using this a lot. While we're in the display and brightness settings, you can also choose screen refresh rate. If you wanna have better battery life, you could go with standard instead of high. But as you can see by this little illustration, things aren't gonna move quite as smooth as when it's on the high setting. To do a screenshot on here, you can do power and volume down at the same time, or it's a little bit easier if you just take 3 fingers and swipe down. And then if you tap and hold on the home screen, you've got a lot of stuff that you can customize. You've got several options here. You can see each one of these is a widget. You can delete each one by hitting the little minus symbol. You've also got stuff down here like wallpaper, icons, widgets. You also have quite a few different transitions you can choose from. You also have different shapes for the icons to be a little more squared off or a little more rounded. You also have icon size and the size of the app name as well. Once you tap more, you've got home screen and lock screen options as well, where you can do double tap to lock, double tap to wake or turn off the screen. You can also choose between the notification drawer, shelf, or global search as well. You'll also notice on the lock screen, you've got a couple shortcuts in the corners. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of options for those. It's either Google Assistant, Google Play, device controls, or none. Also, under your home screen settings, you can go into home screen mode. You can choose whether you want the app drawer or not. If you choose standard, all the apps are going to be on the home screen, very similar to an iPad. You'll also notice down here are your navigation buttons, but there's also an arrow down in the opposite corner. Once you tap on that, the navigation buttons go to the opposite side. If you search for navigation in the settings, you can also change the order of the button layout, wake the Google Assistant by holding down on the home button, or you can switch to gesture navigation as well. You'll also notice if you tap and hold on the icons, it's got several shortcuts that you can choose from. And it's going to be different depending on which app you choose. You'll also notice if you swipe over towards the edge, you've got a bunch of shortcuts that you can modify. They call this the smart slide bar. If you don't like that location, you can tap and drag it to drag to the other side or wherever you would rather have it. Then swipe over and hit edit, and you can add or subtract apps as you like. You can also tap and drag the app over to go into split screen, double tap in the middle to switch the sides, or you can drag over to readjust the size just the way you like. Another way to go into split screen is just go to recent apps, and you'll notice there's a little symbol up here, and choose which apps you want to use. If you go into settings, additional settings, you can choose stylus to see what your battery life is at. Plus you can choose double tap stylus to switch between tool, eraser, or last used, or to show the color palette. There's also a feature called Screen Off Note, where you can just draw on the screen to quickly bring up the Notes app. Definitely one of the fastest ways to take a note. And then if you just hit the little check mark, it'll save it to your notes. Couple other things in additional settings. You got smart cover, so it locks or unlocks when you're using a smart flip cover. Also, if you go into settings, display and brightness, you'll notice you've got light and dark mode. But the nice thing is if you tap on scheduled, you can make a change at sunset to sunrise, or you can choose custom to choose what time you want it to change. Auto brightness, I typically turn off auto brightness. That's gonna be personal preference though. You can also choose the font and display size as well. In the notification shade, you can just tap on the 3 little dots and you can edit the tiles. You've got several different ones down here that you can add or subtract by hitting the little icons. But they also take it one step further and you can change the shape of the little round icons. If you search for icons under settings, you've got several different shapes to choose from if you just want to customize it a little bit more. If you tap and hold on Bluetooth, it's going to show what it's connected to. You can also tap more to go to your Bluetooth settings. And then to connect a Bluetooth controller, just put your controller into pairing mode and tapping on pair. And then pretty much the same thing with other Bluetooth devices. Now there's a lot more stuff to go over with this tablet, but I feel like these tips are sort of a good place to start. So hopefully this video gave you a few more things to try out on your new OnePlus Pad. I'll definitely be doing some comparison videos with this tablet, so make sure to look out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.